Hey girl, welcome to the Black Girl Voices podcast. I'm Shivaun,
And I'm Whitney.
and every week we get together to laugh, cry, shade, and share everything from pop culture to racism.
So grab your headphones and your oversized mug and come and join the conversation.
Welcome back, Black Girl Voices listeners. I
Hey.
can't even believe I'm saying that. It sounds so foreign after our little break.
My God, don't
Which
get me
I've
started.
enjoyed, by the way. Like, I'm happy that we're talking.
Yeah, you did.
Yes, we needed that damn break. Like,
You
life
did.
was life in. Mercury was in micro braids and drinking
Oh my
Gatorade.
God, help us. Whew.
Whitney is famous, so Whitney been
I'm
in
not.
the streets.
I'm gonna run away. Please don't do this.
I bought a home. Like, it's been a
You
lot.
bought a whole house,
A
ma'am.
whole ass house. Like,
House.
what?
Look at
It's
us.
been a lot. It's been a lot going on. So, you tell me how you've been, Miss Ma'am. Even though
No,
we
my
have
God.
been talking, but like, I
Yeah,
want to
I know we've been talking, but like us
Yes.
and the people have not been talking.
The people, what's up?
So I'm okay. Had some pretty drastic shifts. I went from being just a content creator, just out on her own, floating in the social media sphere, to
Yeah,
now being a whole ass editor of a whole ass publication.
I am so stinking
That
proud.
publication is the Philly Download. We focus on 18 to 40-year-old Black people in the city of Philadelphia to help them get politically activated. We are a C3, so I can't tell you who to vote for on that site. But
Right. But on your own black ass
on
page.
my own time, child. Don't get me started. Anyway, but on that site, no, I'm not telling y'all what to do.
We
But
will get started because, and I'm gonna go ahead and say that this is gonna be the first episode, only because I got a lot of shit to say. But go ahead.
Oh, the
Y'all-
clip is loaded. Do you hear me?
Yes, the clip is loaded. A bunch of meemaws are getting taken out with this.
A bunch of their grandkids is getting taken out with this.
Meemaws, yeah, I'm coming for y'all, but you know, I'm gonna keep it cute
All of them.
in the beginning. Yeah. So how's the baby? You know, she's walking into her own independence at this point. I'm sure
she's going to school, and I'm an emotional disaster about it. I'm not ready to talk about it.
Or pre-K?
No. Preschool. Yeah. No, not kindergarten yet. Whew, everybody slow down. Not yet. Not one more year. One more year. Yeah, this is her first school ever. So I'm just okay.
As someone who did first grade and ninth grade this year, I understand. I spent the entire day like crying like I was at a funeral because in a sense, like I know that like people are like, you should just be happy they're growing. Like
that's not it. It's not that you're sad.
Right. But you know, a part of it is because you're mourning a closed chapter. So like motherhood to me is a constant like mourning and celebration.
It is.
You know, it's the celebration of life. But I'm mourning like today might be
what was.
Yeah. Like I thought about, I was picking Clifton up the other day and he's really heavy for me now. And I'm like, one day might be the last day I've ever picked him up. That is so terrifyingly sad.
And
I think
so
about
sad.
Now Jay Sean is 6 foot tall.
He's taller than you.
Yeah, he's 6 foot tall. He's in a freaking size 13 men's shoe. And I'll never pick him up again. That's crazy. Believe me, I've cried plenty at this point.
Oh my God.
But like even sending him into high school, like, oh yes, I'm so happy you're in this new chapter, but that is so sad.
It's really sad.
And then when I pulled up that kindergarten picture,
oh no,
I
lost it.
Yes, I found the first day of kindergarten and put it side by side with the first day of high school.
No.
I was unwell. I
would have just laid on the floor. Like I would have slid down the wall.
We came home and Trey and I had planned. We're like, we're gonna go do this. We're gonna go to the gym. All this stuff, and I was like, I'm going home, and I'm laying on the couch, and I did, and I came home and I laid on the couch and just was sad on and off all day.
That's allowed, friend. Yeah, you feel what you feel.
Yeah. So there were a lot of feelings happening, and I'm not one who's like outwardly feeling feelings all the time. So that was odd for me. That was odd for me, but you know,
Yeah.
I'm not going too deep into how I've been because I just have grievances, and that's all I want to talk about. I bought a
You
house.
moved into a whole house though.
I bought a house, y'all. I bought a house. I'll keep it brief on that note. I mean, I feel extremely blessed. I
Yes.
also have this weird thing that I'm working through, which is something that I've been working on, where I always feel guilty at big milestones that I achieve because I think about people who won't be able to achieve those milestones. And that's something I'm working through because obviously, like, I can't live my life. Like, even like sometimes in the wintertime, I will wake up in tears because we have heat in our house. Like, I don't know. I just like, I feel very deeply for people, but I know I can't do that at the expense of like my joy. Or my happiness.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I felt a lot of guilt around it, but also there's like a big sense of pride because I was thinking back to 10 years ago, single mom me, just me and Jay never thought this was possible. I always knew we'd be okay. Always. Like, because at the end of the day, like,
we're gonna be all right.
We're gonna be all right. Me and my baby are always gonna be all right. And I was very fortunate to have a village.
Amen.
But then to look around at the home full of love, another child, a man who like is I would even say the better parent. Like, he truly is my better half. Like, he is the better parent, the better half in the house.
I don't know if I'd say better parent, but I pick up what you're putting down.
You get what I'm saying? Like, he's just like,
I'm also saying this as a person who's like a big fan of you.
Yeah, yes, I know. Whitney,
he's great, guys. I'm not trying to hate on her husband. He's great.
He loves Trey. Whitney loves Trey, so that's not. I want she knows behind the scenes. No, it's not anything like that.
It's not like that, you guys.
I want y'all to get homegirls like Whitney though, because that's why that's so necessary. Because I'm trying to downplay myself. Whitney's like, girl, what?
What?
Or that bitch? Like, Whitney is that.
Listen, and been that. And okay, so her.
I'm glad you got a man, but you been that. Like, you know,
he all right, but you.
So I know how to receive that. We're only explaining for y'all listening, but I already knew how to receive it.
Amen.
But yeah, to see like this house full, like with a full, and I say complete family, but family, it looks different for everybody. So please, y'all don't take that as like the traditional family.
It's complete for you
like
though.
Yeah, complete for me.
Yeah, it's complete for you. Your family is complete.
Yeah, and to see that full and complete family is just wild. In this home that's now forever, because we've also been on the go for 7 full years. Our whole entire marriage has been transition. We met, we got engaged, we moved to Houston. We lived in Houston for a year. We lived in Michigan. We lived in Michigan for 4 years. We moved to DC. We lived in DC. We ran a business. We still run a business. And then we moved, we're about like 45 minutes away now from DC. So like, it's been transition for 7 years. So to like plant roots, it's almost scary in a way. Because it's like, I don't know how to stay still. So, you know, that's a new thing to learn.
Richard Whitney got started. I was like,
every time Whitney puts her hand on her nose, I was like, oh, she got some words. No,
because like,
receive them. Let me sit back and receive my service.
There's something to be said about the times where God kept us in the wilderness, and then there's something to be said about the times God planted us in the place where we're supposed to be. And there's something to be said about planting and roots, and how just being rooted, just being grounded, just being held is such a blessing. It can be such a blessing. And I think what you're getting ready to see in this particular season is a new manifestation of blessing, in the blessing of stillness. Because like, I think about like some of the stillest waters we know, they run deep. Like, and there is such a significant blessing to stillness, to being able to be still.
Right.
That we don't really talk about because we're such a go culture. But like the idea of having home, like not just a house, not just an apartment, not just a condo, but having home and knowing that's going to be home and that's going to be home for a while, and having that assuredness of home.
It's a
I think you're
different
getting
type
ready.
of stability. It's a different type of stability.
That part. So I think that you don't approach this season with trepidation. I would say approach it with a release. Reassure reassure Shivaun from a few years ago that this is gonna be all right. That this is it. Sometimes we gotta talk to them because they're still back there.
That's
you
so
know,
true. That's
you
so
gotta
true.
talk to them because I be talking to that 6-year-old that like I was waiting for my dad with my little backpack on the steps and like he never showed up. And sometimes I gotta talk to her and be like, hey, everything's gonna be all right. Like even when he didn't have us, like we were had.
We were had.
We were still had. We were still taken care of. We still had joy and all those things. Sometimes as adults or as people who live in the dispensation of now, we gotta talk to them people back there because they didn't go anywhere and they still have very strong feelings and they pop up randomly. And sometimes you gotta go back there and be like, hey, it's gonna be all right. Like me, I didn't have any of this 10 years ago. I was living in an attic. I was living in an attic at the top of a house. In it was a beautiful neighborhood, but it was an older house. And so in the summer it got super hot, in the winter it got super cold.
Yeah.
And then like literally within 10 years, like we're in our own condo and we have, we have a sweet baby. I'm married. Like all of these things, all of these trends. I'm running a whole newsroom. Like this is crazy. So it's just it's like thing after thing. And sometimes I gotta go back and talk to that girl from back there and be like, hey,
that's so real.
You made it. Like you gonna make it. You were worried about not making it, but look at you, you made it.
And I hope that reassures somebody listening, because I think a lot of times we associate being healed with never having to go talk to that past self. Right? Because I think when you said that, it brought you back to your 6-year-old. It brought me, from time to time, I get brought back to being 25 or 26 and thinking about all the hell and the abuse that I went through in my past marriage, right? And I remember physically feeling myself exhale about a year ago, because I did not realize I had been holding my breath, waiting for the other shoe to drop, waiting for Trey to, because like at some point, like Trey's never raised his voice at me. He just doesn't raise his voice in general, but he has never raised his voice at me or like, yelled viciously or cussed at me. And I just kept waiting for him to change, because I'm like, surely at some point his true colors will come out. Right. And that's even me loving him, trusting him, all of that. But I didn't realize I was holding my breath. It was one day I was in the bathroom and I was in the shower and I like exhaled and like all of like past memories came out. And I mean, it was like a very tearful shout. Like I probably was in there for like 45 minutes just bawling. But I was like, wow, that manifests like physically, like
in your body,
in my body.
In your body.
Did not carry that around. And it's because I never went back to talk to my past self. I was just like, oh girl, we're good now. We're past that. We're healed. But healing doesn't mean you never revisit old wounds.
Absolutely. Absolutely. One of the conversations that sticks with me is with my ex-husband, and he was getting ready to leave, and he thought he was saying something like really beneficial to me, but this really hurt me at the time. But he's like, you'll find somebody who loves you. And I'm like, why don't you?
What? Yes.
And then, so that came up a little bit ago, because I forget, Earl did something. I can't even remember exactly what it was. It was, those small things. It's like they do something small, but it reassures something. It's like something big in your brain.
Yes.
And it was like that moment, like, lit up in the back of my brain like cinema. Like I saw it happen, and I'm like, but I was like out of my body in a way, so I was like watching this happen as opposed to living in it happen. And I'm like, you found somebody who loves
you. And it's like you knew, right? And like, so it's not like you don't know that person loves you till that moment. No, you knew it, but like
you knew it, but it's like a manifestation.
Know it.
Yeah. It's like you know it up here in your head, but it has to come. Sometimes the pathway up between the head and the heart,
immediately.
It'd be slow, child.
Maybe on the Oregon Trail. And they're like, bitch, catch up. Okay?
Not the Oregon Trail.
Catch the one up. What did they catch? What was that damn disease?
Dysentery, like
I was catching disease and dying on my damn kid.
I was so tired of dysentery. I'm like, why has everybody got dysentery? Why does everybody have dysentery?
Thank God.
Listen, y'all young folks don't know nothing about no
Oregon Trail. That was
sound so old.
Yeah. I used to hurry up and finish my work so that my teacher, because you could do work after. And they'd be like, okay, you can go on computers for a little bit.
Yes.
Oregon Trail or Snapdragon.
Something.
I had Snapdragon.
Yes.
But yes, Snapdragon, those were my jam. But anyway, I'm so glad we're reminiscing on good times because I'm about to bring up the bad.
Oh, let me crack some knuckles because
I always start with a very out of pocket.
Who did it? Oh no.
What?
I'm sorry. Because I know it's supposed to be some bullshit.
I want all backwoods. Hillbilly ass. Bitch ass.
Oh no.
Pieces of shit who don't know how any fucking thing works to shut the fuck up on the internet. Okay. Let's start. It's clear, very clearly election season. By the time you guys are hearing this, it's still election season. Hopefully this will launch like mid-September. We'll see how me and Whitney feel. We got lives. Anyway,
we do.
This will launch like mid-September, so it'll still be election season. Secondly, let me go on to preference that I myself have not. I'm still kind of figuring out what I want to do politically. Okay. I will tell you, fuck Donald Trump. He will not be voted for.
I mean, always.
And third party does not make sense to me. Kamala is obviously probably going to be my vote. However, there are a couple things I want her to say or like elaborate on, do better on like explaining. But you guys don't understand that things take time to be said, right?
Hello.
Like, she accepted a nomination on Monday. Y'all wanted Monday at 2 p.m. and at 2:05, y'all wanted her to say everything that y'all wanted her to say. Now, I will also, here's my third disclaimer. There is no justification for how this current administration has handled what's going on in Gaza.
Thank you.
We need to stop sending weapons, money, and resources to Israel.
Thank you.
Yes. I'm saying this very clear. There is no justification for murder, genocide,
none,
or
zero,
tearing apart people's lives, family,
none of that,
and livelihood.
Mm-hmm.
There's no justification for the amount of control that we have allowed Israel to have in our government. I actually think that's very dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
All of those, okay?
Mm-hmm.
What I am referring to when I say nobody knows what the fuck is going on, when you guys say shit like, well, Kamala has allowed XYZ. Kamala is not the fucking president.
Please learn.
Okay?
Please learn.
Once again, I'm not saying that I don't think that politicians are above reproach, because when we start to the point where we can't criticize, we end up like the red hat brigade, okay?
No, we criticize.
We criticize over here. Some shit needs to be said, some shit needs to be promised, and some actions need to be put into motion. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But when you guys say shit like she hasn't done this, she hasn't done that, maybe I'm in another century or another universe, but in the universe that I'm currently in, Kamala Harris is not the fucking president. She's the vice president, meaning her ass is supposed to sit there and wait for something to happen so that she can step in.
Yep.
It is Congress. It is what's the people? The other people, the Supreme Court. It is all of those people's jobs to vote on policies and procedures and all of those things. Even the president alone does not act
which
alone.
Y'all don't know that either. Y'all don't know that.
I know maybe it's been a while for some of y'all since American government, and maybe some of y'all failed. But I am so fucking tired. My last little point, and then I'm gonna, get off the mic for a second. I am also tired of y'all going into my mutuals and my friends' comments, and I'm not talking about anybody. Again, I just said, I feel like if you feel politicians are above reproach, there's something wrong there. But most of these people that I have seen or that I am mutuals with are people who very well have criticized, you know, the fact that Kamala needs to speak up. We're wanting XYZ. They very vocal on Palestine. They still are putting pressure on it to happen, but have said they are voting for Kamala. And y'all go into them calling them genocide sympathizers,
baby killers,
calling them killers, calling them all of these things, talking down to them like they're fucking ignorant and stupid when you were fucking learning from them and in their book clubs 2 months ago.
Well,
so the information was good enough when you could consume it for free, but now that they're not parroting the things that you want them to parrot, and you cannot virtually whip them into line.
She's okay, Massa.
Now it's an issue. Black people are not your parrots. They're not your mouthpieces. They are not your representation and your boxes to check the fuck off. Okay? I'm not saying you have to agree with everything Black people say either.
Absolutely not.
But stop going into their spaces and belittling them. It's one thing, too, to also have a conversation. I'm always free for conversation. Hello? Someone comes and they're asking a genuine, well-meaning, from a good place question. Sure, let's have dialogue.
Let's chat. Let's talk about it.
If you call me out by name or call somebody out by name, first of all,
you can kiss my ass.
Second of all, and then lastly, and I'm done, I promise.
Take your time. Take your time.
These fucking, I'm disappointed in you fucking, y'all don't me.
You're taking my grievances.
I'm so happy that I have created a space where you feel safe, right? And that there's community. Okay, I love that. That is the only reason I've ever wanted to come to the internet. I started this when I was like in the thick of postpartum and I felt like I had no community, and I built community, and I think that's great, especially community of other people who care about some of the same things I care about. But the only people that can be disappointed in me are my husband, my parents, children, God, myself. Bitch, you don't fucking know me.
My mama.
Okay? Be disappointed in your racist ass Mima and your Uncle Bill.
Wait.
Fucking shots fired here with your bullshit.
You ladies minding her business turned into butter.
You're earning so fucking bad that you're better than everybody. And finally, just because you just got in the fucking game, you just fucking started fighting for liberation. Now all of a sudden, you know better than everybody else. You know how to fight this fight. You
get off of him, Shivaun.
Not fucking marathon. You ain't been in a marathon in your life. You just fucking got here. So sit in the back of the class. Shut the fuck up. Matter of fact, don't even take off your coat. I'm done.
That turn back around.
I'm done.
Get the hell out of my house. Get out of my cabbages.
So many people just like,
get off my porch.
Off
of them, Shivaun. Get off. Let them breathe, Shivaun.
My God. Then I saw one of my mutuals who's, you know, part of the LGBTQ community, and someone and said, personally, I cannot vote for Donald Trump. Like, he is a threat to my existence and my community. And their answer was, okay, well, right now, this administration is doing such and such and such. Okay, nobody deserves to be killed, but now y'all always are dogs.
They don't care.
Always want Black people to put aside their own lives, their own safety, their own livelihood for everybody else. That's fucking crazy for you to say, okay, but when for me to say, hey, as a gay person, this is going to threaten my existence and who I am and my safety, and you say, okay, but
like, how dare you be a human being too?
Talking about, we got to sacrifice. Bitch, you sacrifice. White people have yet to sacrifice, and even the ones fighting on the front line have yet to touch the hem of what the fuck sacrifice means.
Y'all never listen. Don't talk to Black women about sacrifice. Don't talk to Black women. Don't even come and turn your face to say anything about sacrificing to Black people.
We wouldn't even be choosing between quote unquote lesser of two evils if y'all didn't vote the fucking orange
talk to them 55%, child,
from the in the first place. Because some of y'all, truth be told, just flip the script.
Just Like,
just fucking got here.
Like 2020.
Not
with all that listening and
2020
learning.
on and fucking off.
Did y'all like blow the dust off those books, by the way, that y'all were all buying?
That's off. Because the only book they read was by Robin, what's her name? The white one.
Rich, did you hear the tea?
No, what's the tea? Please. Please, please, please.
Apparently there's accusations of intellectual theft.
No.
Yes, girl. I gotta send you the link.
I mean,
I saw that and I was like,
did everything from Black women, but no actual. What?
Yes,
that actually shouldn't surprise me, but like the fact that
it shouldn't surprise me.
Proof.
I think
it's wild.
I think I'm gonna be transparent in this moment.
Okay. Always.
I mean always, but like really transparent. We're gonna get a little deeper.
Okay.
I'll deep down inside I want the allies to win, but there's a piece of like me that like knows the truth. I think it's because I had so many elders in my life, and it's like you want these folks to do right so bad,
yeah,
but they keep showing up in terrible ways, and you keep finding out stuff later in the game, and it's like it always comes out in the wash. And so like I shouldn't be surprised. I am.
Yeah.
I shouldn't be upset, but I am. I'm upset for my sisters who had their thoughts taken.
But that just means because you hold hope. So I'm happy. I think there's actually a lot of beauty in people who continue to be surprised and continue to be disappointed.
Yeah.
Versus the people who are like, I mean, it's almost like a competition at this point. How could you be disappointed? We've been known. I think
that drives me crazy.
Right, like, okay, you one-upped me. Great. It's because like we hold this hope, right? For a better future, for people to do better. And when you hold hope and you get let down, there's disappointment that manifests itself there. And so I think that's beautiful.
Shivaun, you have preached a mighty word on today. I would just like to follow behind you.
Please, because your comment section has given me high blood pressure.
A fucking war zone. Which is funny because I expected Twitter to be bad.
Oh, yeah.
And I expected TikTok to be bad. Neither
really
one.
TikTok? I didn't expect TikTok.
Neither. No, only because TikTok is always bad for me. My comment section typically is bad. It's actually been way better in the last month.
You always
it's been
somehow
way better
on the other side of the algorithm.
I know, child. I'm so used to it now.
Yeah, I'm like, who's sharing Whitney's videos? Who's sharing me?
I've told you I'm in somebody's Facebook group. I gotta be. I gotta be in somebody's Facebook group.
You're like, this bitch posted again, y'all.
There she goes. Now she's got braids. She got Michelle Obama terrorist braids. They always get braids.
Oh, I know they don't call it braids. They always get a new haircut. I'm like, why do you?
I know. They always call it a haircut. It's not always a haircut.
It's not a haircut.
There's no. I added hair. There was no haircut.
Pisses me off. First of all.
Yeah. So
I didn't expect Instagram to be so bad for you.
Oh yeah. Me neither. Like that's usually like where home is. So I think that's why I took it like so hard in that very first time that I posted about, Vice President Harris. Like, I'm going to be really transparent. I'm going to be an honest person. I'm like, I'm excited that there is someone who looks like me, who looks like my daughter, who looks like my mother, who looks like my grandmother, all people who are still here, praise God, who are witnessing this happen. I'm thinking about my grandmother. She's 85 years old. I'm thinking about all of the life she's witnessed. I'm thinking about the first time that she was able to vote safely in the United States was in 1965. My mother was a year old. So for everybody who wants to pretend that this was like millennia ago, my mother was a year old in 1965 when the Voting Rights Act was signed. My mother, the person who gave birth to me.
Right, because like that was your great. Oh no, bitch, mom.
You saw black and white pictures and you really thought it was ancient. No, honey, like they put those in black and white for a reason.
That's all fucked up. Yeah.
Can we talk about it? How like black and white pictures have really messed y'all up? That y'all really think things are so ancient? Just messed y'all up. So we knew it was gonna be bad, and we like a lot of us approached the entire thing with like a lot of trepidation. The reason why I felt safe enough to even say that I was excited is because when I first talked about President Biden dropping out of the race over on TikTok, my comment section got flooded. Black women, white women, Asian women, Latina women, Arab, like so many different women were coming into my comment section. Like, but like they're like, I hear you. I hear why you're feeling this trepidation, but she could do it. Like
Right.
she could really do it.
Right.
And I felt that energy. And I was like, if they feel this way on TikTok, where I usually get hell, surely Instagram, where people know me a little bit better.
But you know what though? And it's crazy because I had to like bring it back. I always have to like bring it back to words from like our ancestors. Martin Luther King did say them fucking quote unquote well-meaning liberals are the most fucking dangerous. And they are, because I will not forget how so many of your posts and other people's posts that I've been reading were about harm and safety, harm not being done and safety for marginalized communities. And white liberal people, which are really honestly the majority of a lot of the like hell comments I'm seeing. I'm not really.
Oh yeah. The majority, vast majority,
are in the comments causing harm to the same community.
Direct harm.
Harm.
They don't even see it. Shivaun, I'm gonna say something.
Y'all want to be activists so bad that you're causing harm while you're trying to activate? I'm confused.
I'm gonna say something really hard. I knew Black women were gonna get hell. I knew it. I didn't expect it to come from behind me. Because Black women were asked to lead. And so these are the people who pushed us out in the front.
And said,
I didn't expect you. I did not expect to be stabbed in the back. And that's what it felt like. It felt like a stab in the back. It felt like a gut punch. It felt like an all-out assault. I have been called a baby killer. I have been called selfish.
A baby killer from the same group of people who get called baby killers because of their belief in our right to choose. Think about that. People call us, or people who believe in or pro-choice, which are normally in the same group of people we're talking about, get called baby killers all the time. And you're going to use that same harmful, dangerous insult to try to make a point to a Black woman.
To a Black woman who has been actively fighting, actively raising money,
before
actively
they fucking
campaigning,
knew what
actively
talking.
Was. I didn't even have the language. Let me just take you back to October 7th. I did not have the language. But that day, I put out something that said, we don't need to be hurting each other. I said it. I'm like, I don't know what's going on. I don't have the information. But somebody needs to say this because this is about to get really bad for a lot of people. Yeah. And I said that in October. I'm not saying that because anyone owes me anything. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying, I'm stacking the resume and saying, Black women, Black people, period, but Black women specifically, we've shown up. We've shown up even when we didn't understand. We were like, I'm here. I'm ready to learn. What do I need to know? How can I help? That is the way we have approached so many things, y'all. Y'all asked us to come out and speak when y'all were wearing them pink pussy hats. Y'all asked us to come and rally for Stop Asian Hate. Y'all asked us to come and take care of voters. And these are the things we should do. These are the things that we should do. Yeah. I'm not saying that they're not things that we shouldn't do.
But you asked us to lead the charge.
You asked us to lead the charge. We're showing you the next play. And then y'all come and y'all act just like these people with the red hats on. Girl. And it hurts. It hurts to watch. It hurts to feel. And it's not like people are like, we had one the other day where a person was like, oh, all you're posting is about people who are active in genocide. And I'm like, this post is literally about planning to take care of marginalized people. The entire post was, if you're not centering, because people want this revolution. Y'all want to be Katniss Everdeen so damn bad. Y'all want to go. whatever that little whistle is, and throw your little 3 fingers up. You know, y'all want to do that so bad.
Hey,
and the problem is,
poor black girl got killed, but great.
I don't want to talk. There's levels. There's multitudes in that particular.
Problem, though. White women are always playing activists like they're in the Hunger Games. This isn't a fun movie.
But here's the thing: real revolutions don't look like the Hunger Games, babe. Real community does not look like the Hunger Games. Real community is doing the work when it's not an election year. Real community is talking to you. You know how Shivaun keeps bringing up y'all memas and y'all aunties and your grandmamas and your mamas and your cousins and your neighbors.
Revolutionary.
Real revolution is going to talk to them bitches and telling them to stop voting the way they've been voting. And I'm calling them bitches for a reason, because every time they vote against their best interests, I get to see on ABC or Fox News them crying because they're bleeding out in the middle of hospitals because they voted for the person who votes against their body autonomy. I can't do anything. I can't do anything. I told y'all what to do. Y'all be playing the wrong play, and then y'all throw into the other team. And when they score victories, y'all want to turn around and blame shit on us. Let me tell you something.
Because y'all didn't give a shit about women's rights till you found out that your dear daughters who were having sex when you didn't know couldn't get abortions. Oops.
I mean, y'all had a few abortions. Let's be real.
Yeah, your mama and daddy took y'all to some hush places because they had money and they had access. Want other people to have access and money to shit,
which is wild. Which is wild that you would want these liberties and these freedoms for yourself, but not for everybody. Like, what right do you have? It's something you
said, though. It's something you said, because that triggers me. You said doing the work when it's not election year. Okay. What triggers me about that is this whole third party shit. Here's what I'm gonna say.
Oh my God, Shivaun.
Do I want to see a world where we're not just voting for 2 people? Hell fucking yeah.
Absolutely yes.
I think
make it viable?
That we can do that with a candidate who's not even on the fucking ballot in all 50 states and in less than 100 days? No, I don't.
Absolutely.
Here's the second thing about that.
Absolutely.
We don't hear shit about these candidates that you're talking about till they, what's Kendrick say? Pop out and show niggas. Till they pop out of nowhere around election time.
Which is wild. And why aren't y'all trying to do stuff?
What have they been doing all year long?
What has Jill Stein been doing? Like when it's not an election year, what does she actually like? What does she do? Is she trying to like run for any other offices?
Yes.
Hey, I would love to see Jill Stein run for Senate.
Yes,
let's see her do Senate. Let's see her be a congressperson. Let's see her be a mayor.
Yeah, is there certain calls she's specifically actively boots on the ground fighting for? And that brings me to my point, though, of what those same people who are like, vote for third party, vote third party, right? The reason that y'all think that's doable is because you don't know anything about organizing.
Nothing.
Activism is organization. So if we now decide, hey, we're going to vote third party, whoever you can find that's third party. Now we split our votes to whoever's third party in this state, whoever's third party in this state. And then say there's 100 votes and Donald Trump gets 70 of them and Kamala gets 60. And we've wasted 10 sprinkling them around whoever might be on the ballot. Now Donald Trump wins. And y'all are like, well, no, we're not saying we want Donald Trump to win. Yes,
yeah, you are.
The fuck you are.
Yeah, you are. You are.
And this is coming from someone who still hasn't fully endorsed Kamala.
Well, here's the thing about that. Like, a vote, I saw another creator say this. A vote is not a all-out, I'm getting ready to marry this person. A vote is a bet. A vote is a prayer. A vote is a choice. It is saying that I will survive under whose conditions? Whose feet do I want to hold to the fire for things that I actually want? Who's the person that could actually bring the things I want to fruition? And if you think that Jill Stein, who is not even on the ballot on every single, and forgetting any of the third parties, because here's the thing. There are people who will refuse to vote for Donald Trump or Kamala Harris, because they've seen what's happened to their families, in Gaza.
Okay.
I'm not talking to
I'm not talking to them.
Y'all can do whatever you want. Y'all can do whatever
Yes.
you want. I'm not talking to y'all. I'm
That-
talking to the
yes.
constant 55% of people who
Not
want
the
to vote
55.
against they want to vote against their best interests and everybody else's best interests to preserve their whiteness, and then they find out that their whiteness comes with a Handmaid's Tale robe, not realizing that, hey, the Handmaid's Tale is so terrible and so terrifying because a lot of that shit happened to marginalized communities who are telling you from the jump that shit was getting ready to get real. And
Well,
y'all
that's
thought
'cause
that y'all were so safe. Oh, I'm the lapdog of the ultimate oppressor. I am his partner. Of course he wouldn't turn anything on me. Like I said, y'all are bleeding out in hospitals now because I've read a bunch of these articles and I'm getting
yes.
ready to produce some content around that. It's horrible. It's horrible
Sickening.
what y'all have done to yourselves. How y'all have condemned yourselves, as if your Black sisters, your indigenous sisters, your Latina sisters, your Arab sisters, your Asian sisters didn't tell y'all what was up.
Yeah, this is hurting us, and then y'all were like,
told y'all. Y'all didn't care when it was us. You didn't care when we were breathing the toxic air. Now look, you're in the toxic air. You didn't care when it was our water. Now look, you're drinking toxic water. That's the problem. And so I don't want to focus on them. I want to focus back on these leftists that want to come and talk to us about what revolution and liberation looks like. Remember who gave you the language of liberation?
Ooh, child, because some of y'all just learned what white supremacy culture was. And then you saw my post where I said, some of y'all sat in the book clubs that we taught, learned the phrases, the language, gained the tools, and then used those same tools of white supremacy back against us as soon as you felt comfortable.
As soon as you could. And you think that you build a community by insulting people, by belittling people, by making people feel stupid. That's all white supremacy culture, babe. The only thing that you're doing is turning people immediately and intentionally against you. Because I've never seen anyone who's been belittled. I've never seen anybody who's felt some of the barbs that I felt suddenly turning, they have a good point.
Yeah.
You're isolating yourself so you can cosplay revolutionary. And I'm going to be for real. I think some of y'all want Trump to come back in office so you can have something to complain about.
I do.
So y'all can have something to complain about. Because the last few years, outside, far outside of what's going on in Gaza. Because listen, that is a horror story. That is a monstrous horror story.
And I think we say this all the time, which is why, Whitney already said it, but we always say that no one gets to tell a community who's hurting and being affected how they should feel, how they should act, any of that. And so that's why I will say it 1,000 times on this podcast.
I'm not talking to them.
We are not talking to people who are
not
watching
talking to them.
Families, their friends.
Nope.
We're not.
I'm not talking to them.
People. If they never want to vote again, I would fucking
That's their business.
That's your business.
But here's the thing, Shivaun. You just said it. You understand because you have a level of intersectionality.
Yes.
You see the intersections. These leftists don't.
Which is why they think in their comment section saying, I understand, but and telling
you see how we don't show. You see how we don't show up to their comment sections? Very demure, very mindful. Shout out to Jules. Shout out to Jules LeBron. We love you, girl.
Trademark, girl. You deserve it.
I just saw an update on that. Like she was that it was handled. That's what she said. It's handled. I said, yes, Jules. Let me know when to buy the merch. I'll be on there liking every sponsor post. I'll be like pushing all the buttons, leaving comments and everything. Jules LeBron is like my hero. Please don't do anything problematic. I love you. Please. Please. I just want to have a fave for once. Please.
To enjoy somebody. Where they come.
I want to make the right person famous, please.
Gosh.
You're so great.
I feel like she might actually be very demure and very mindful. So
I feel like she's going to be very demure and very mindful.
Very mindful.
But I think that's the thing that really hurts is like we gave y'all the language of liberation and y'all twisted it just like white supremacists do, and y'all stole it from us to try to use it as a club against us. We gave you, it was like giving you a basket of fruit and you turned it around and turned it into a weapon to try to use it against us for your own moral superiority. For your own personal piety, as opposed to saying, let me look at intersections and say, why is this Black woman saying this, talking about voting and things like that? Maybe because her people didn't get it. Maybe her mother, her grandmother, them folks didn't even have a chance to vote until 1965. Maybe because she needs to see and know that her people are safe.
Right.
Maybe because she knows how white supremacy works, knows that her people will be the first up on the chopping block, as they always are when these things fall apart. Maybe she knows that the only way that her community can continue advocacy in a safe and effective manner is for a certain person to be in the White House.
Right.
Maybe she knows something I don't, and maybe I'm going to give her the benefit of the doubt because I understand intersections. Y'all act like y'all don't. Y'all really act like y'all don't. And it's frustrating because all of the things that we taught y'all over the last 4 years, all of the things, listen to Black women. Until, what did I say? Listen to Black women until it becomes inconvenient. Listen to Black women until it becomes an indictment.
Girl,
I said it.
Girl, you did.
And that hurt. So this is not really a grievance. This was a pain point. I might be mad next week, but this particular thing, no, it takes me a while to get mad. I go through sad first. I go through sad for a while.
I text Whitney, and so I think she could tell I was a little pissed off. I said, "Who's this bitch in your comment section?"
To be fair, she was a bitch.
No, she was like, I had to read myself, and then she blocked me with the. I don't always have the audacity, and then you want to block so quick.
Oh, because they were never here to hear from us to begin with. That's all it proves. I'm here because I'm cosplaying revolutionary, so I can feel better than my cousins at Thanksgiving that, I'm talking about what I'm talking about. Not realizing that they haven't even this is what we talk about when we talk about doing the work, y'all. The work is dismantling the white supremacy in you first. And before we go out to do other things.
Because, and honestly, I think that's going to be something that obviously would be very very task heavy, but that's something I really want to do, like a book about starting an anti-racist journey, because y'all skip that step every time.
Let me go to feeling good. Let me go to the feel goods.
When do you look at you? When do you look in the mirror? When do you evaluate all of the ways that you have caused harm? It's always, I'm going to skip the calling people out because that's fun and that gets me looks and likes and viral moments. Y'all calling them out, and then people are pulling up tweets about y'all saying nigga. That's why. Because y'all didn't take time to evaluate.
And it's like, it's taking personal accountability. It's taking this is what we talk about whenever we're talking about doing the work, is you have to dismantle the hatred in you first. People have to realize that you are safe first. And a lot of y'all, white leftists, are proving that y'all were never safe. A bunch of y'all made a bunch of cute cardboard signs and learned the chants in 2020. Y'all bought the books, they got dusty, you got lazy, you got lax, and now you're using the same tools of white supremacy on the people that you asked to lead. You asked us to lead. You asked us to teach. You told us now was the time. You told us that you were trying to do better. And y'all
I see you.
Y'all, no, you don't.
I hear you.
You don't see us. No, you don't. You're not listening. Y'all are not. Y'all don't care. And it's y'all came for the optics, not for the actual work. You came for the optics, not for the actual work. And that, to me, is so sad. It's so sad because, I'll be rooting for y'all. I'll be rooting for y'all to actually do right. I'll be rooting for y'all to actually turn the page on things. I'll be rooting for y'all because I see, you know what it was like? Because here I go with the preacher Whitney again.
Oh, Lord.
There's this story in the Bible of when Jesus came to a fig tree, right? And the fig tree, they're supposed to have fruit when they get leaves. But it said that the fig tree was ripening out of season. It wasn't even the season for the fig tree to even have figs. But it had all these leaves. So when you see the leaves, there should be some fruit. There was no fruit. on the tree, and Jesus was hungry. He was coming to like actually eat.
Right.
And there was all of this accoutrement. You have the shirt, you have the book, you have the sign, you have the pins, you have the chants, you have the social media, but you ain't got no fruit. You ain't got no fruit. We can't nourish ourselves off of what you have, because you have all of the shit. Yes, I preached and then I cussed. You have all the stuff that doesn't matter because you didn't do the internal work, and now you can't even nourish a community, and you're here just lying. You look the part, you're not the part. You look the part, you're not down for the part. You look the part, but you're not doing your part. And it's frustrating to me because I'm watching so many of y'all come into my comment section doing the same shit that I expect MAGA to do. And it's frustrating because I was rooting for y'all. I thought y'all were real. I thought y'all could do it. And y'all keep letting me down. And this is not for everybody. This is not for everybody. This is for a particular group of people. And I'm going to say that because let me also say that for every person who acts an ass in my comment, I get 50 DMs.
That's true.
I have no idea what is going on. And those are the people who are doing the work. Those are the people. And then there's even people in there who are like, I don't really agree with your stance. Can we talk about this? Absolutely. Yes. But you're coming and calling me a baby killer. You coming and calling me blue MAGA. You coming and calling me a genocidal maniac. I was called a genocidal maniac. And I'm like,
wow.
It's so obscene.
You know what's crazy though? That some of those same people who are, genocidal maniac, all of those things, are talking shit to us when they just woke up to what's going on. And we've been talking about this since it happened. Matter of fact, there's podcast episodes that you can go back that we've been advocating for the end of this genocide and for our administration to do better. Why? Because we don't worship administration. We know that administrations are necessary, right?
It's for work.
So that some of you guys have this fairy tale belief that we can burn it all down and just have nothing and then just run it as just ourselves. That cannot happen right now. Again, organization, time, things like that. Also this burning all down shit. I know, and I've read several of my mutuals now have written about, hey guys, we can't just burn it all down because we have vulnerable people in our communities that would perish
survive
if it was burned all down. That's number one. Number two, I think it's very interesting that it's, people are blue MAGA and this and that, when some of these people were just screaming vote blue no matter who before Kamala was the
very interesting that shift, ain't it?
Yes. And I actually don't believe in that. I don't believe
no
matter who, right?
Absolutely not.
So even when that was going around, I was like, I don't know about that. But those same people who are voting no matter, I'm always keep that same energy, right? So if you're voting blue no matter who, that means if Elmo is running for president, you're voting for Elmo because you just said vote blue no matter who. But as soon as it was Kamala who was up there, I was like, no, but not her.
Why not her?
What changed?
Why not her?
Why not?
Why not her? Why not?
And I think another thing is y'all are not used to keeping momentum. As I said before, y'all are sprinters. Okay, you're not long distance runners. So y'all aren't used to keeping momentum. So you cannot fathom that after election, you can still continue to do more work.
Can and
still
should.
Continue to apply pressure. You can still continue to make demands because y'all are used to vote. And then once we vote, and the inauguration happens, you disappear. Kind of like 2020. Don't kill Black people and march in the streets, and then you disappear.
See, and here's the thing about that,
and then you give reparations for 2 months, and you disappear.
Shivaun, that's the thing. That's the thing. They don't realize, when you think about things like the Montgomery bus boycott, and when you think about things like the March on Washington,
organized.
They're organized. There's people who are doing the peaceful disruptions. But there's also people in Congress. There's also people. They're also showing up to school boards. They're also showing up to their town boards. They're also talking to the mayors and stuff like that. Do y'all know who's on your school board?
Jesus, do y'all know who y'all senator is? Let's start.
Do you know who your ombudsman is?
Who's your mayor?
Let's be real.
Who's your mayor?
Who's your mayor?
But even just to talk about that, when you brought up Montgomery boycott, right? Y'all want to burn it all down, okay? Let's pretend this is the Montgomery boycott. Shut it all down. Shut all the transportation system off, right? Are you prepared to use your car to help take people to work?
Your car.
Your car. That's what they did. Are you prepared to get up
over
and
a year?
Yes, walk in groups to help make sure other people are safe. What sacrifice are you going to make once you burn it all down? Oh no, you just want to light them. You just want to light them.
And here's the kicker. Here's the kicker. They don't even want to start it, and this is why they're mad at Black people. They want Black people to start it.
Yes.
How dare you haven't started rioting?
We load everybody
How
up.
Dare
in
you?
The car.
How dare you? But here's the other thing is they want to burn it all down because they never built community. They don't know their neighbors' names. We talked about their mayor. Do you know your neighbor's name? Do you know the medication that they take? Or if they require like assistance, or if they have a disability? Do you know how many children?
Nice from a distance. And I have the perfect example of that. When I moved into this house, it was an older white lady who used to live here. When we moved in, she told us, oh, the neighbors are really nice. Like, she told us some of their names. Cool. We went to go purposely meet our neighbors. One of our neighbors told us in all the 23 years that she's lived there, and she's had like things like for the neighborhood at her house, she's never invited any of the neighbors of color to the house.
Whoa.
So you want to be nice from a distance. You want to be friendly from a distance. You don't want to actually get uncomfortable and invite those people into your space.
Say it. Say it.
Oh.
Say
some of y'all don't know.
So much better. Yeah, listen, I hope we haunt your dreams. Because like, in truth, like, yes, I know we laugh about these things and we can like fuss about these things, but like in truth, this moment is really showing who is doing the work and who's not, who's done the work and who's not, who's continuing, because the work does not end. Here's the thing. Social justice is not a destination.
No.
This is a journey. We're all on this journey together. Dismantling white supremacy is not a destination, it is a journey, because we not only have to dismantle the systems in place, but we also have to dismantle the things within ourselves, because white supremacy is not, who said it? Someone said white supremacy is not the shark, it's the water.
Ooh.
I gotta remember who said that. That's not my quote, y'all. I don't want to steal it.
If y'all remember who said that,
please tell us who said that. I can't remember. I think I can't remember because I'll be all over the place. But white supremacy is not the shark; it's the water, and that is such an impactful thing that you have to remember. And we're all immersed in this water, and if we're all fish, we're all have gills. We're constantly have this water filter through us. We have to treat white supremacy like salt water, and freedom, liberation like fresh water. Okay, right. So we have to work on it within ourselves, but also around us. So I just want us to be mindful of those things. I know we've gone over time. I'm sorry.
Girl, we don't have no time.
Oh yeah, that's right.
We don't have no time because this is our podcast.
Just say it's our time.
Show. This is our show.
We do what we want.
You know, despite the lashing, if you were one of those people we were talking about, which you probably aren't if you listen to the show.
If you listen to the show, you're not.
Probably not, but
you're not.
You know, we enjoy y'all. I'm happy that the show is back in your ears every Monday. By the time you're listening to this, the show is back anyway. Every Monday, and subscribe to the Patreon. Last season, you know, we were figuring things out, but you know, we'll have more episodes for you. We will be popping in there to interact. We might even do like a little live or something in there at some point. So subscribe to the Patreon. And then aside from that, like if you just love and support the show, y'all, the show comes with cost. Okay. So you're helping there. So let's keep the show going. I'm still manifesting that this show is going to end up on somebody's desk for some network somewhere that's going to pick it up.
Oh, it's happening.
Yeah, it's happening in the name of Jesus. But no, we love you guys, and we will see you next week.